Hey man, it's Blue Lagoon, and I'm finna review the Air Jordan 4 Retro SB Navies. And I'll be starting with the box and accessories. This is the box to the Jordan 4 SBs. This is a sail and gray box. You got your Jumpman with your Nike SB right there. This is the size tag on the box. It reads Air Jordan 4 Retro SP. The SP stands for Special Project, and the colors are Summit White, White, and Navy. Size 10. So the shoes come with these white laces right here. They do not come with no extra laces. I just decided to put my Anti-Hero SB laces on the shoes. And they also come with this paper right here, which appears to be paint splatter. So here are the Jordan 4 SBs. Here's a quick overview. These are really clean. That navy blue makes these a lot more wearable. You know, it's a Jordan 4 SB. What else is there more to say? Let's get into it. I'll be starting with the toe cap, which is right here in this gray. This part of the shoe is a suede going through the whole front of the shoe to the sides. How is it? How does it feel? It's decent. It's, you know, it's nice. It's a little, it's between hard and, you know, more on the softer side. It's weird. But I'd say it's good for skating, you know, so they did their thing. It's a thick cut of suede on the front of the shoe. Obviously you don't see the brushing or the movements of it, but it's still nice, you know, for skateboarding wise, if you know you're doing all your flip tricks and damaging your toe off your shoe. So that's going to be pretty durable. I'm pretty sure this is a turn and stitch toe box too, which basically means when you're skating it, instead of when these stitches rip, you got a big hole in your shoe, it's going to be harder for you to get a hole in your shoe. I just would assume, you know, so fire. Okay, the white part of the shoe, which is all around the shoe, is leather. You know, how is the leather? It's good. It's, you know, it's probably synthetic, but it's still good for skateboarding on me. You know, it's definitely thick cut, similar to the suede, but it's gonna get the job done. You know, you can beat these up, get a good little scuffs, and they're gonna hold up. This is a real bulky shoe, man, so it's gonna definitely hold up. The leather does overall feel better and a lot softer than previous Jordan 4s from what 2023 and back. That wasn't really a collab when it comes to SB wise, if you know what I mean. And the difference between this and the pine green Jordan 4 SBs that came out is this is white, but the pine green SBs appear to be more on the off-whitish type side. Here's both of the shoes, as you can see. If you can see them uppers, this one is definitely not as white as the navy blues. If you can't tell, it's slightly more off whitish. It's not as white if you compare the two. You know, so that was a little change up that they did. I don't know why they did that, but it fits. It definitely fits. You know, this more off-whitish go with this green better, and this super white definitely goes with this navy blue. Good, but those are definitely differences, if you can tell. The netting is definitely softer than the traditional Jordan 4 netting that we have gotten in the past. The Black Thunders, for example, is definitely way softer because they wanted this to be a skate shoe, or they intended it to, constructed it to be skatable, and you can definitely tell with the netting. Feels definitely super plasticky, but it's super, I won't say super soft, but it's way softer than usual. Alright, your lace crowns, your lace covers, holders. They're softer than the traditional Jordan 4 lace crowns. You know, again, this is quote unquote a skate shoe, so they made the rubber on these as soft as possible so you can have nice flexibility when it comes to you skating. Definitely way softer than the traditional Jordan 4 lace crowns, but they're still pretty stable. Not flimsy, but at the same time not too stable that it will hurt your feet. You know, it's definitely flexible enough to do your tricks without really hindering you. All right, with the wing crown, you can see right here that this is a true white, but if you look at this one, this is more of an aged off-white looking color. Here's both of them. This one's more true white, this one's more of an aged looking color when it comes to these wings. In the mesh too, you can tell the mesh that this one's more aged than the off-white. Even though this shoe definitely came out 2 years ago, I haven't really worn them like that, so you know, the shoe naturally definitely looks like this, more aged than this Jordan 4 navy one on my left. Comparing the suedes, in my view, this one's lighter. The navy Jordan 4 SB is definitely lighter than the pine green. Even though this is 2 years older, you know, I haven't really worn them like that, but this one definitely seems to be lighter than this one. And if you can tell, you put them right beside each other. I'm trying to get it as right as I can. The navy SB seems to be higher cut suede compared to the Jordan 4, if you can see at the toe box right here. Just slightly. I'm trying to get it as best as I can. If I put it a little bit more down, even then you can still tell, you know, so that's definitely a difference between the two. I say this leather feels harder. The Jordan 4 pine green suede, I'm tripping, feels, the suede on the pine green Jordan 4 definitely feels to be harder than the navy SB4 for sure. Both of them pretty, you know, not as soft, but this one's definitely harder suede texture wise than this one right here. Again, I put SB laces for my anti-heroes on these kicks. You know, I like the SB look on the Jordans, you know. But just letting you know that these do not come with the shoe at all. This is the tongue, as you see in the inside. You got your little netting again, nothing crazy. With your Jordan tongue, you got your Jumpman with your flight, and the tongue is definitely more flimsy leather tongue. Just in case people didn't know, this is definitely a leather tongue besides this box with the Jumpman on it. The Jumpman on the tongue, and you have your flight at the bottom. But overall, the tongue definitely is more flimsy and flexible compared to the traditional Jordan 4 tongue that they've been making since 2022 and back. Just now, you know, you got your Air Jordan behind you, of course, upside down in that box. You got the navy blue everywhere else behind the tongue. Right here you got your bread and butter. You got your Nike SB in white, and you got the navy blue all around it. The bread and butter, what everybody, how you know you in the game with the Nike SBs. But this right here, the pull tab with the heel, is definitely flimsy, more rubber like compared to, again, traditional Jordan 4s from 2022 and back. But yeah, so it won't be cutting into your heel, you know, or your Achilles when you're skateboarding. Alright, so with the midsole, as you can see, it's a classic Jordan 4 midsole. You got your hint of navy blue at the front, on the side, and you have it all the way through the back of the shoe, and you got your white at the bottom. This is a softer polyurethane midsole compared to the traditional Jordan 4. So basically this is people consider this a more comfortable Jordan 4, which, and I haven't worn Jordan 4s in a minute, but last time I did, I'm talking about regular ones, they were definitely uncomfortable. Most Jordans were really uncomfortable. That's crazy. But these right here, when I actually put them on feet, I actually felt my foot going down in the cushion on me. So definitely good. Now, it doesn't have an air unit in the forefoot of the shoe. It doesn't. No air. They took it out so you can have board feel in this part of the shoe. But since they did change the air unit in the forefoot of the shoe, they actually replaced it with Poron that they use in regular Nike SBs. If you ever seen that portion of the SBs where it's more exposed in the middle of the shoe and it's soft, that's what they put in this area of the shoe. Instead of that airbag, they put Poron. But you still have your classic air bubble in the back, which you can definitely feel. It's red in the inside of it too, but you can definitely feel cushion in the back heel portion of the shoe. But then when you get to the forefoot, it's, you know, hollowed out, so definitely low to the ground, but it's still not bad. At the bottom of the shoe, you have your herringbone traction, your classic Jordan 4 traction. You got your Nike right here in red, everywhere else is white. But since this is a skate shoe, they incorporated a gum bottom in certain spots where you would need more grip at. So in the toe portion for a flick, your ollies, you know, when you always got to stay on your toes and you got to catch your board, stay on your board. There's certain instances when you're skating. The skaters know what I'm talking about, bro. You're going to need that part. And in the back, when you're heel it, you know, for maybe what your heel flips, heel variations of tricks, you know, even for catching. Maybe if you land on your heel the certain way, you need that grip so you won't crash out, fall, any of that. But they definitely incorporated that for grip for the skaters. And to compare both shoes, this is the navy one, this is the pine green one from 2 years ago. The pine green gum bottom is definitely darker, more brown compared to the newer SB Navy Jordan 4. So right here, even though I did wear these, you can still tell that this one's darker than the new Navy SB Jordan 4. Both red again, and as you can see, this one's darker than this one. It could be the age, but it seems to be just like that because I barely, as you can see, wore these Jordan 4 SBs. Pine greens. The kicks come with regular shoe trees, nothing crazy. This is the size tag to the shoes. Size 10. These were made in 2024, but they definitely came out this year. These are the insoles to the SBs. Both of them say the same thing, just red with that Nike SB Air. You got your size tag right here. This is a Dream Cell insole, so I mean it's all right, you know. It's all right. It's definitely flimsy, but it get the job done, you know. It ain't the best, but it'll definitely get the job done. Overall, though, this is a good shoe. Great shoe. Amazing shoe. Very wearable shoe. This navy blue, man. They could have went with a lot of other harder possibilities of, you know, colors, but they gave us the navy blue joints. Even though the family and friend reds would go crazy, and the pine green was hard too. These are definitely, you know, they're great too, you know what I'm saying? And they don't go for as much as the pine greens do. There's always the OG one that goes crazy, but then the other ones after that, they start to follow suit eventually, you know. But these are hard. Which one is your favorite? Do you like the navy blue or do you dig the pine greens? You know, a lot of people definitely like the pine greens, you know. I'd say when it comes to pop, catches your eye crazy, these are better. But if I had to pick and choose one, I'm Blue Lagoon, baby. You think I want finna choose blue? But yeah, both of them hard though. But I just, you know, I just appreciate the blue and the more wearability than these. But from my test, these are harder though. I give it that. Pine greens are harder. I just prefer the blue one, just so I can wear it and keep it casual, you know. You're gonna pop out in these, you're gonna keep it chill in these. Even though both of them are incredible. I mean, so get them while you can. The resale isn't bad. Not yet, you know. Eventually, maybe a couple years from now, when everybody don't wear and beat their shit up, these gonna go up in price and people gonna be regretting it. You know, same thing how the SB4s at one point was going for the low 3s. Now they about upper 3s and 4s. So just don't sleep, man. Get them while you can. I'm finna do a snug on foot test. I know what you're thinking. Dang, bit, your sock dirty than a bit. But that's why I don't wear no white socks like that, homie. That's why you see me keep it below me black. But, ooh, off the rip, I would say off rip. As soon as I put these on, I went true to size. I did feel it at this right here on the corner of my foot, right above my big toe. I felt that pressure, you know. So, other than that, these are, you know, decently snug. Nothing dreadful. If I had to give it a rating, let me stand up in them. 5 out of 10, maybe 4. It ain't bad, you know. It just still, it's still around my foot, but it ain't too tight, you know. So I give it about that, probably about 4.5 out of 10, 5. I only give it a 5 because of that spot. Other than that, it's all good. But comfortability wise, oh yes, these the ones right here for sure. On me, I'm already feeling that pour on in the forefront. I'm feeling it. It ain't no, you know, Adidas Boost or no Asics, but I'm not gonna cap. You can definitely feel the comfortability in these. You know, definitely. You're still pretty high off the ground compared to a traditional skate shoe. But these will get the job done. These are definitely way more comfortable than a regular Jordan 4 from last time I checked. But that's on you. So if you got super wide feet, go a half a size. If you know your Jordan 4 shoe size, just go with your regular Jordan 4 shoe size. Even though I can't really vouch for that because it's the only really Jordan 4 I got besides the Pine Greens. But just go with your true size and Jordan 4s, I just would say, or soon. Comfortability wise, I gotta give these probably about a good 6.5, damn near 7. Now, I mean, I wore Asics and Boost before, bro, so I gotta get those brown 8s and up, you know, at least. But this is good though. This is good.